Hi everyone, this is Mr. Hall, and this is a really quick video about principle of organisation. This is sort of this is really straightforward. This is probably stuff that you have done before in like your kind of lower kind of high school or secondary school key stage 3 learning, and it sort of sets up the learning for other bigger units such as the digestive system, the nervous system, things like that. So it's a very basic stuff, and in today's clip I'm going to be talking about the following things. Ooh, let's get my pen. So I'm going to be talking about how you order cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems in terms of size. We'll be talking about how you define tissues, organs, and organ systems, and also we'll state different organ systems in the body. So it's very straightforward stuff, and hopefully stuff you already know. So let's start off with cell. Now the cell in organisms, it's basically the smaller unit or smallest unit that can carry out life's activities. And then what you get is you get lots of these cells coming together in order to form a tissue. Now, a tissue, in terms of definition, it's a group of cells, very similar cells, which work together to perform a specific job. Now, you can get lots of tissues to work together to form an organ. So an organ is groups of tissues who work together to perform a specific job. And then what you can then have is different organs working together to form an organ system. And the definition for organ system is groups of organs working together to perform a specific job. You can then have lots of organ systems working together, and that forms an organism. So at the very top here where you've got cell, this is the very smallest thing, all right? And then as you go down, you'll notice that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to organism, which is by far the biggest thing, okay? So it's very small here. And the largest thing is over there. So as an example, it's probably good to kind of illustrate this with an example which can make some sense of this. So let's start off with this type of cell. Now this cell here, it's a muscle cell, all right? And it's the kind of thing that you can find in different parts of the body, like typical muscles like your biceps, your triceps, also the heart. Now you can get different cells working together to form a tissue. So this is a muscle tissue. In specific, this is a cardiac tissue, all right? And you'll find this type of tissue in the heart. Now you can have lots of different types of cardiac tissue working together to form an organ, and the organ in this case will be the heart, okay? And then the heart is part of a bigger system in the human body, which is the circulatory system, all right? And then the circulatory system can then work with lots of other systems in the body, such as the respiratory system, the nervous system, and so forth, to create the organism, which is a human. So you can see how you can start up with very small cells, and then as they kind of work together to form tissues, organs, and organ systems, you eventually form an organism. So it's kind of how organisms are structured and organized. Now, the circulatory system is just one of many systems that you have to be aware of, and that's the one over there. You do need to be aware of lots of other systems in the body too. So the next one, going from left to right, this is the nervous system. So you've got your nerves and obviously the brain and the spinal cord. You've then got the respiratory system, which is the lungs, bronchioles, trachea, things like that. You've then got the digestive system, which has got the liver, the stomach, small and large intestine. Then you've got the skeletal system, and then finally the muscular system. For those of you studying most courses, and I would include AQA in this, which is sort of what it's particularly directed at, this course here is particularly important. This one here is important because they're sort of related to each other. So you often learn those two together. You'll often have to learn a lot about the circulatory system as well, because it talks about how it gets sort of oxygen and glucose to all your cells in your body. And then you have to learn about the nervous system, because then you talk about reflexes versus hormones. And the one system which I haven't included here, which is also very important, is the endocrine system, which is basically all about, for put it shortly, just how hormones are transported around the body, amongst other things. And that's it. That's pretty much all you need to know about the organization of organisms. Next up, I'll be making some videos all about the digestive system.